is being yours truly. The alternative is being laughed at and ridiculed incessantly. The alternative is being hated and being judged and being misunderstood. The alternative is having everybody call you names, having everybody say the exact opposite of whatever you're trying to convey. The alternative is you get called a bigot and all those fancy names that they come up with at the university to describe people that think and shit, you know? People are so afraid of being called a name. Yeah, they're so afraid, they're so afraid, they're so afraid. People are so afraid of being defamed that they won't say what they really want to say. Well, you should say what you want to say only when it's constructive. Every other time, just hold that shit inside. And no, don't go online, 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 because that's cowardice. Everybody's a fucking coward. I get in trouble for things that I say. And I really don't even say that much. It's like, I'll give you a good example. I probably already talked about this before. I was kind of sort of forced to quit my job at Kroger, another wonderful communist corporate conglomerate, all right? And I call them communists because, during the whole pandemic, they were just replaying all these messages about wearing a mask and getting your jab every 20 minutes. Any place that does that is a communist establishment that's in bed with the government. Period. But anyway. Yeah, there were a bunch of people there that didn't like me. And they didn't like me enough that instead of confronting me and, asking me what I meant by certain statements that I made, or maybe just asking me why I meow so much, shit like that. Because I act weird. I know I act weird. I'm like a child in a lot of ways. But what's funny is that I'm probably the most offensive child I mean, I do very childlike things, but then, I have a lot of emotional maturity from what I've been told, and I'm extremely wise, and I can just see things a lot quicker than everybody else. Now, one of these things that I see, everybody is completely gone. Like their whole existence has been wiped out because of the technology. I saw this kid on his bicycle on his phone. He was literally riding his bike on his smartphone, dude. And I know that it's not Christian to wish that kid gets hit by a car, but I kind of want that. I kind of want that. And let me tell you something. If that kid actually got hit by a car because he was on his phone, do you think that anybody's going to talk about that shit? Do you think that anybody cares? It's just so fucked up what's happened to society, and society's just fine with it, man. They're totally fine with it. They want to bitch about all these other things, but it's it really is this modern ideology of progress. That's what's destroying everything. It's not politics, it's not immigration, it's not feminism, it's not gay shit. It's technology. Technology has accelerated all of it. And y'all motherfuckers are totally fine with it as long as you have something to stare at while you take a dump. That's pathetic. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be stabbed to death. Honestly, what does that mean? Does that mean to say that? And I realize, though, that because I'm a paranoid person that thinks things through, I mean, not many people have this beautiful gift of being able to see things that other people can't see. And if they do have this gift, they're definitely not going to be honest about it because they know that they'll get thrown in a padded room if they do. I'm just crazy enough that I don't give a shit. I'm also a high-functioning schizo, so... I'm high-functioning because I figured out that God's the answer. It's none of this other shit. People want to talk about their constitutional rights being violated and all that shit. Yeah, try being schizo. They don't give a fuck what happens to you. Police officers can beat the fuck out of you in the street. Nothing will happen. Your family, your friends, your loved ones will throw you into a psych ward against your will, and you'll be forced to take medication and get electroshocked and all that. I mean, like, anybody like me, like, we could tell you that the Constitution is just a totally nil document. It doesn't mean anything. Because if it's not applied fully, it's not applied at all. Okay? But, I mean, there's so many people that you hear about. And this just proves that everybody's a hypocrite. Okay? People that they say, oh, well, these people should be thrown in a mental institution. You know, like, they're totally in favor of, you know, the likes of Antifa being thrown in a mental institution. Against their will. You know? That, well, I don't agree with them either, man, but that's still not the appropriate line of conduct, all because you don't like the way that they behave. I mean, what do I suggest? I suggest they be isolated. I suggest that people that have serious behavioral issues be isolated. Not subjected to psychiatric treatment. That's not going to help them anyway. I mean, the reason why they do that is because society has just given up on itself. Society has given up on humanity. They don't agree with humane treatment because they don't see human beings as human beings. They're really no different than Margaret Sanger, you know? Like, they're just as eugenical as all the people that they think are out to get them, you know? The people that believe in pharmaceuticals. It's like, mental illness runs this entire country because people don't know how to face themselves, and they don't know how to just accept the fact that sometimes people are weird, sometimes people are off, and maybe they shouldn't be on